How's it going, everyone? In this video, I want to give you guys a heads up on Insomniac's Wolverine, which there is a news story, kind of a news story that's making the rounds, but the writer of the game is the same writer of Spec Ops: The Line. Now, that is very relevant, and I'll get into that in just a second. If you have played Spec Ops: The Line, you know why that is incredibly exciting news. Also, there's been a lot of rumblings going around over a potential Smash Bros-like crossover fighting game based on Warner Brothers properties. We'll talk that. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxies, we have some news notes to talk about with that, including the install size on PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 4, and the reviews are out, so more on that at the end of this video. But first of all, this started making the rounds by Shinobi602 on Twitter. He noted on Twitter, "I just realized lead writer from Spec Ops: The Line, Walt D. Williams, is story lead at Insomniac on Wolverine PS5, and blank, my hype just exploded tenfold." Now, if you have not played Spec Ops: The Line, this probably means nothing to you. Obviously, it means nothing to you. However, for those of you that played Spec Ops: The Line, you probably can ascertain the fact that this means that Wolverine, Marvel's Wolverine, can be an extremely gritty and mature story. Now, the trailer kind of already gave you that vibe, and we didn't see much of anything out of that trailer. Like, let's not get it twisted. It's not gonna do us any benefit of dissecting the little bit we saw out of that trailer, but just the vibe and the ambiance I got out of that trailer is that, okay, this is gonna be a more mature take on Wolverine, and Wolverine is typically one of the more mature Marvel IPs. I think that's fair enough to say with my limited knowledge of Marvel IPs, but I've always viewed Wolverine to be one of the more grittier ones. But Spec Ops: The Line, if you want to talk about gritty, take that and tenfold it with Spec Ops: The Line. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to really go back and play Spec Ops: The Line if you're on PlayStation. It's available on PC, and it's pretty easy to run. I highly recommend you play it because it is an extremely emotional and extremely mature game, almost a little bit uncomfortable. Like, you will be a little bit uncomfortable playing that game because it tackles some very mature and very, I guess you would say, psychological subjects. Definitely one that is implanted in your memory after you play it, to say the least. And if we're gonna get even a fraction of that out of Marvel's Wolverine, that is pretty exciting. Now, let's be real here. This game is a long ways away. This is being done by Insomniac, which Insomniac, I don't even know how they can remain this busy and drop games consistently, but they've been one of the most consistent publishers, or rather developers, in all of gaming. Remember, they put out Miles Morales late last year. Ratchet & Clank came out earlier this year. 2023, we already know Marvel Spider-Man 2 is going to be dropping then, and then you would have to think that Wolverine is going to be after that. That's why I wasn't, like, overly excited about Wolverine, because, look, it's Insomniac. It's a foregone conclusion that the game is going to be of quality. To what quality level, who knows, but it's just hard for me to get excited about a game that is potentially 3-4 years away. At best, we're going to see this game at 2024 because you would think Spider-Man 2 comes out in 2023. It's probably not going to drop in the same year. Ideally, the year after is where you would drop Wolverine, and that's best case scenario in my opinion. A 2025 release window could be possible, and it's just hard to get excited about games that are that far away. That's why the same reason when Elder Scrolls 6 got announced, I was like, okay, we're getting this announcement, but everybody and their mother, at least everybody that realized, a lot of people realized that that game was going to be super far away, and now we're talking about it. When was that game revealed? 2018, 2019? We're heading into 2022. It's not going to be out in 2022. 2023 is best case scenario for that game, and it's just, you know, there's so many games coming out. I look at some other publishers and developers that announce their games and then they're ready to release in a year and a half. That's like the timetable I would like to see. 2 years tops, when games are getting announced 3 years ahead of time, 4 years ahead of time. I don't know, that just doesn't get me all too excited, just because I know that's going to be a gargantuan wait, and you guys know how the world is. I could end up dead in 4 years. Like, we just don't know what's going to happen in 4 years. Like, I'd like to focus on some of the games that are at least in the relative near future, but I'm still super excited for Wolverine, especially now that we have this information. Now we could definitely expect something that's gonna be a little bit more psychological, I think, and a little bit more mature and gritty. And again, from the trailer, you kind of got that vibe, but it's good to see that that's gonna actually be happening. And good to see him getting work on a big budget title like this, because again, if you have any way to play Spec Ops The Line, go back and play that game, because that game was tremendous. It's a very, very short game. You could probably complete it in 5 to 7 hours, but what a 5 to 7 hours it is. Okay, moving on from that, a couple other things to note. There is a lot of rumors going around about NetherRealm potentially making a Smash Brothers-like crossover fighting game based on various Warner Brothers properties. Now, this originally came through Reddit, but it was noted about NetherRealms. However, Jeff Grubb did speak on it and noted, according to journalist and insider Jeff Grubb, the Warner Brothers platform crossover fighter is real, but it's not being developed by NetherRealm. Now, the leaker did claim some of the characters being in the game: Shaggy, Tom and Jerry, Batman, Fred Flintstone, Mad Max, Harry Potter, Johnny Bravo. So obviously, it's a little bit of a wacky mishmash of characters, obviously Warner Brothers properties, but if you played the Nickelodeon game, you saw some wacky mishmash of characters. So I think this is something that a lot of development studios are going to try to, go for. Obviously, we saw PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and I think a lot of people saw that as having, maybe more potential than what was actually realized. Unfortunately, while I thought it was an okay game, it definitely did not make a dent into Smash. I also think at the point when it came out, Sony characters did not have that level of appeal as Nintendo characters do. Like, everybody likes Kratos, and especially back then, Kratos, Nathan Drake, all those characters were cool, but I think now, if you were to release PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale in 2021, 2022, and you put some of those characters in, they are much more iconic characters now than back then. I think Nathan Drake is a far more iconic character. I think even a Kratos after God of War 2018 is a more notable character. Sackboy, I think, is a more notable character. So, unfortunately, that game didn't do well. That Nickelodeon game was seemingly well received, and obviously Smash is going to be a mainstay, and that's going to be the top tier of the crossover fighters for a long, long time. But I am curious to know what Warner Brothers can manage to do with all of their properties, because they have quite a few. Okay, lastly, Guardians of the Galaxy drops tomorrow. We'll talk about the reviews in a second, but it was noted that the PlayStation 5 version of the game is 31 gigabytes on your hard drive, or rather, your SSD on that machine. We are far past the hard drive era. The PlayStation 4 version, on the other hand, is 60 gigabytes, so kind of wild, the discrepancy between the two. I believe it was noted on Twitter as well by the developers that the PC version is 80 gigabytes, so I don't know what the hell is going on here with the PS5 version being 31 gigabytes. We do know that the PS5 versions of games are going to be smaller than the PS4 versions, but still, that is a significant discrepancy, although, given the fact that we only have, 600 and change gigabytes on the PlayStation 5 without storage expansions, having a 31 gigabyte new release is definitely something I'd like to see more of. I do not want to see more 100 gigabyte games, because that is just a gargantuan undertaking for, the small storage space that we have on a PS5. That's good to see. Guardians of the Galaxy, on the other hand, reception-wise, doing pretty well, an 81 on Metacritic as of the recording of this video. Seems like reviews are mostly positive. I saw some lackluster reviews here and there. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10, and there's a ton of 9s and 9.5s out of 10 as well. PSU gave it a 9 out of 10, so that's cool to see. I was a little bit skeptical on the game, and I did notice that there wasn't a lot of buzz heading into the release of this game, so maybe with the positive reviews coming out, this does excite people a little bit more into checking the game out tomorrow. I also do believe, not trying to hamper the sales of the game, but just looking at it, I do believe this is going to be a game that goes on sale fairly quickly. So if you can wait a month or two, I think that's going to end up paying dividends. I do think that this is a game that's going to go on sale during Black Friday. Maybe I'm wrong about that. This just screams like a $20 off at Black Friday type of game to me. I could see it being as low as $35 even, but $40 seems pretty plausible to me, and I do think that's going to happen. But 81 on Metacritic, super positive score there, so that's going to do it for me. Again, Insomniac's Wolverine, Walty Williams is the story lead of the game. That definitely bodes exciting things for the game. Probably still a ways away, but hopefully development progresses on that smoothly. Potential Warner Brothers crossover fighting game, that could be cool with all the IPs they have. Guardians of the Galaxy, PS5 31 gigabytes, PS4 60 gigabytes, and the game itself getting reviewed pretty well with an 81. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.